Well, joining me to talk about all of this is Catherine Coron. She's an associate professor specialising in British Civilisation at Paris 2 University. Thank you for being with us in the studio tonight.
Thank you very much.
Now, dare I say it, Boris Johnson did seem to be striking a slightly softer tone there when he was in Ireland. He admitted, kind of for the first time, that no deal would not be good for the country, that it would be a failure on his part and on the part of other European leaders if a deal wasn't reached. What did you make of it?
Well, he recognises the fact that for business, I'm quoting his words, for business, for the British economy, a no deal would be a catastrophe. Yet, I'm certain he's still for a no deal in the sense that he hasn't made any proposals so far. I mean, this is what the MPs discussed this afternoon in the House of Commons, was the fact that there was no proposals made to find a solution to the backstop. Nothing is proposed. Saying that you are for a no deal or against a no deal is useless. What is really useful, what would be useful, would be to work on a proposal which might be approved by the EU and which could help the EU accept an extension of the delay.
What proposals do those in Parliament who have managed to force a delay on the Prime Minister, what proposals do they have? Because it would appear that, and as French officials have said today, just granting another extension isn't going to solve the problem. It isn't going to solve the problem in the UK, nor is it going to solve the problem for the EU, which would desperately like to move on to other business now.
Well, the problem is that Parliament being closed tonight means that MPs will not be able to work on the proposals. They cannot make any proposals because they cannot work together. This is what I heard when I was listening to what MPs were saying in the House. I mean, the thing is that Boris Johnson may say no deal would be a catastrophe. In the facts, if you prevent the House from working, you will not end with any kind of proposal.
What about the risk that those people who voted for Brexit and who may now be furious that it hasn't been delivered 3 years on, what if they say, well, the mainstream parties can't deliver Brexit, we will turn instead to the more extreme parties, the Brexit Party, Nigel Farage. Is that not also a risk?
Well, what is certain is that British people voted for the Brexit. They didn't vote for a no deal. When you vote for the Brexit, implicitly, particularly at the time when they voted in 2016, the idea was that they voted for an agreement. We don't know whether the British people really want a no deal. What is certain is that the Parliament is against a no deal.
But they were also against the withdrawal agreement with the Irish backstop.
Yes,
so what is the way out is what I'm asking. Is it another referendum?
There is a problem is that negotiators who go and negotiate at the EU are alone. They don't have the British Parliament with them. So either they work, and this could have been done by Boris Johnson tomorrow, having Parliament work, find a consensus on a certain number of proposals, get them voted, and then...
Theresa May did try that several times, didn't she?
Well, she
held dozens of votes.
No. The votes were after the negotiations. And Parliament, which is...
The problem is that there is no consensus on Brexit in Parliament. Some people don't want it,
because
some people do.
There was no debate.
Do you think the Europeans are being too hard in that they are too attached to the Irish backstop? Would it not be helpful if the Europeans would revisit that issue?
Well, if any proposal was made, they said they would consider it. No proposal was made. So they are expecting something which I'm afraid will not take place.
All right, Catherine Coron, thank you very much.